love it. This should turn into a drinking game. Perfect. Hi, welcome back to my channel La Fraise. I'm Noémie and today I'm going to share with you 10 patterns for your sewing capsule wardrobe. I'm saying 10, but I actually mean a lot more than that because I couldn't resist giving you a few options for several of the pieces, and you'll see I made sure that at least half of those were free patterns. So lots of fun sewing ahead for you guys, and hopefully you'll find something you like for your own capsule wardrobe. So I call this roundup capsule wardrobe. It's because I really try to fill every big criteria in a wardrobe that you need. So normally with only those 10 patterns, you should be able to build the entire wardrobe and have quite a nice wardrobe with all your basics covered. I have quickly a few announcements to make. If you want to go straight to the pattern, I always put everything in the chapter so you can go straight there. But otherwise, for my regulars, I just wanted to say, I think I'm gonna stop doing the 2 videos a week right now. I originally was thinking I would keep up the 2 videos a week during the Northern Hemisphere summer and kind of like stop the 2 videos a week in September, but I actually realized I'm starting my holidays now. I have a few weddings coming up, and I'm arriving to the point where either I finish the outfits for those weddings or I get the videos ready and scheduled for when I'm on holidays, but both are not going to happen. And I don't want to go naked to the weddings I'm invited to, so, or wear my lockout dress to all of them. I really want to make the outfits I have planned, so I've decided to scale it down a bit earlier than I had imagined. So for the end of the month of July, I'm gonna have videos on Fridays because it just worked better in the calendar like this. And from August, I'm going to keep the videos on Mondays. So normally, from start of August, it's a video every Monday, and then if I have an extra one, it's going to be on the Friday slot. But so you know how things are going, and don't worry if you see only one video from me every week from now on. Anyway, I thought no one needs to see me so much, so I think 1 video a week will be fine. If you have a very strong preference between Monday and Friday, please let me know, because I kind of chose Monday, you know, thinking, oh, it's after the weekend, it gives me the weekend to edit, but it's totally fine. If you like, no, I really prefer the Friday slot, please let me know and I can swap to the Friday. So that was the video's PSA announcement, and I just want to say, if you want to see a bit more on the daily basis what I'm sewing, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm the same handle as on YouTube here, so it's at La Fraise Sews. And I have actually created a new Instagram account. I originally thought I would keep my private one linked to my YouTube channel, but I realized I post a lot about maybe other people's kids, my nephews, etc., kids of friends, and I thought, I don't know, it didn't really work. So what I have done is created a new Instagram where I am currently reposting all of my old makes. So if you actually look at the post, it's everything has been posted really recently, but I try to write the date so you can kind of follow what has been made when. Also this way, it's a nice library for me of everything I've made. Just if you join me now on Instagram and you're like, that's really weird and she posts a lot, like I'm still building up and trying to catch up to the present day with all of my makes, but once everything is caught up, then it's going to be normal Instagram, and I really like sharing in the stories what I'm working on at the moment. So if you like that bit more off the cuff, behind the scenes vibe, then you might enjoy following me on Instagram, so don't hesitate to do so. Okay, let's go to the patterns. And I just want to say, starting with the patterns, I'm assuming you are comfortable shortening pants into shorts. So I don't have any patterns for shorts in this, but I'm kind of assuming you have the skills to shorten pants into shorts. This way it kind of like saves me a slot and I don't have to put a pattern for shorts in this roundup. And also that you are comfortable shortening and lengthening sleeves. I have put an alternate option if lengthening sleeve is a bit too much for you at the moment. So hopefully you'll find something interesting for you. I have my computer here, so if I'm looking here, it's because I'm checking the patterns, but let's get right in. So we are starting with the Helen's Closet Jackson Pullover and Tee, and I really love this pattern. And you might be wondering, Noémie, a paid pattern for a t-shirt, there's so many free t-shirts out there. Yes, I'm coming with a few free options, but hear me out. I have really tried, and I will show you photos and everything, a few free patterns, but for me the Jackson is really the perfect t-shirt. I really rate it. I have tried the free patterns, but for me, wearing the Jackson, I feel the perfect amount of dressed up, but not too dressed up, not too casual. It's bang in the middle. You can size it up or down to have it maybe more slouchy or more fitted, and it works really well. All the patterns are not meant to be scaled up or down and still fit you well. This one is. So for me, it was a really, really big plus point. Also, there's a really easy hack. If you need a long sleeve shirt, you just use the pullover version. I personally add a couple of centimeters in the sleeves to make sure the sleeves are long enough, because with the pullover, they normally add cuffs on it. So I use the pullover pattern pieces, add a few centimeters on the sleeve, and then I have my long sleeve shirt, which I really rate. I also made this one quite a few times. I absolutely love it. So even though you might think that the t-shirt is the pattern I would have gone for free, no, I think it's worth paying for a really good t-shirt pattern, because t-shirt's something you wear so much of. I mean, it's such a basic in your wardrobe, so I feel like you want it nicely done, you know? And the Jackson goes from a size 0 to 34 in US sizes, I believe. And I will obviously put everything in the description box underneath, so you don't need to research for them. They're all gonna be done there. Now, if you want a few free options, the Hemlock tee by Greenline Studio. It doesn't look like a free pattern. You need to read a little bit through the thing. You'll see that actually if you become a subscriber from the newsletter, then you can get the pattern for free. You can always unsubscribe afterwards if you don't want to stay subscribed. It's generally how it is. You need to subscribe to the newsletter to get the free products. But it's not really clear from the product page that it's for free. You kind of need to read in the text, but I'm telling you, don't get panicked when you arrive on the Hemlock tees page. You can get it for free. It's a really good size range. It's 0 to 32, so we like this. Now, I have made myself, I think, 3 Hemlock tees in my sewing career so far. I really like them, but I think they are not the most dressed up option. They're really slouchy. I also made all of mine in a tencel jersey, which was particularly slouchy, so that didn't help. But I have to say, wearing them, I felt often closer to the pajamas than really the nice dressed up t-shirt. So this is why they're not my #1 t-shirt for me. I still really, really like those t-shirts, so maybe something to consider as a second pattern option. Anyway, it's free, so you can have it as well as the Jackson. But the reason why it's not #1 for me is that it's a little bit too slouchy to be my perfect capsule wardrobe t-shirt. Also, a quick note, if you like to kind of use your fabric sparingly, I have managed to squeeze my t-shirts into a lot less fabric than they recommend in the pattern instructions. So maybe check a little bit how much space your pieces actually take before going to buy your fabric, because you might be able to save a bit of money and a bit of fabric by buying a little bit less if you check it beforehand. Another free t-shirt pattern is the Plantain from Direndo that has not been reacquired by Closet Core Patterns, just so you know. It's still free. I also made quite a few of the Plantain, but actually for me it's too tight on the arms. It's really the thing with those. I believe Direndo was a French brand originally, and those French brands, they don't count that you have more than skinny arms, it seems, even grading up. I mean, it's something you could probably hack easily if you wanted to, but I just can't be bothered if I have a better pattern out there. So for me, the Plantain, I have made a few of them, but they're too tight on the arms. And also when the pattern hugs you quite narrowly near the arms, then it touches your armpits. I'm a sweaty gal, so the t-shirts ended up smelling quite quickly compared to others that are a little bit more loose fitting. So for me, the Plantain, I made a few of them, but it wasn't the one for that reason. If you are more slim, you have very slender arms, maybe that one is for you, because it is a bit more form-fitting, so it's also a nice option for some people, just not for me. The sizes in European sizes go from a 34 to 60. That's also a very good size range, I find. Okay, that was only point 1. That's the one t-shirt. Okay, second, the tank top. Oh my god, this should turn into a drinking game. I'm sure you guys can guess so many of those patterns, because I always talk about the same patterns. So the Phoebe, which is the free tank top from the fabric store. This is what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing a cropped version today. I feel really cool with my crop top, but the Phoebe, I truly love it. I have so many. This is what I use for all of my leftover fabrics. The versions I do nowadays have a little bit more of a cutout here at the arms, because I find that this, again, hugs my armpit a little bit too much. My bra is probably a few centimeters down here, so now I cut it really so that it just hides my bra, but here I find that it touched my armpits a bit too much, so you know, you might have like stains on your armpits and stuff. So this cut I don't do anymore. I have adapted the pattern a little bit so that I have a bit more room under the armpit, and also now I like to give myself a tiny bit more breathing room around the neck area. But that's such a great base pattern. It's so easy to adapt bits a little bit as you need. With this version I also added the buttons on the side. I don't know if you can see them, they're there. I added the buttons, and that was actually something I did inspired from a deer and doe pattern. I realized you don't need the button placket to get in and out of your top, so I made a full placket and just put buttons on it to be kind of decoration. But yes, the Phoebe, love, love, love it. It's probably my most made pattern. I have so many of them. Every time I have a bit of leftover fabrics, I make a Phoebe. I have long ones, short ones, I have all the sizes, because it's just, for me, I don't love showing too much of my chest and too much of my shoulders. I find that this is really easy to wear because you can have a bra underneath, you don't see your bra straps, so I have a ton of those. And the sizing goes from a US 0 to 30. My alternate pattern for the tank top is the Ogden cami, which is truly a community favorite in the sewing community. The sizing is a 0 to 18, so a little bit smaller size range for this pattern, and it's a pattern from True Bias. This one has the narrow straps, so it's more if you want to reveal a little bit more of your chest and you don't mind maybe your bra straps being visible. The Ogden cami I haven't made myself, but it's a fan favorite, so I have confidence that it'll be fine for you. But that's my alternate paying option. Then you have your short sleeves blouse. I have chosen, again, don't make this a drinking game. I know I talk about this all the time, but it's the Chelsea Raglan tee. I really, really love this pattern. Again, I have so many of them. I have made it for my sister, for my wife, for myself. Everyone has one of those from me, because if you shorten the sleeves a little bit, you can really squeeze this in not so much fabric. So it's a great pattern. It's also a really quick make, so I really like it. And it's a free pattern from the fabric store. Sizing going from a 0 to 14, so a little bit more of a restricted sizing on this pattern specifically from them. My alternate pattern for this one is the Agustina top. I also have quite a few of them, and the Agustina has a sizing from 0 to 30, so a little bit more generous on this. The Agustina is also a free pattern from the fabric store, so we love it. It's all free. I personally, when I made my last Agustina, I widened the sleeves a little bit, and I really liked that look with really wide boxy sleeves. Also a really quick make. This one takes a little bit more fabric because it's such a boxy fit. Oh my god, I need to go faster. We'll never reach the end of this list. Sorry, it's really hard to be snappy. Okay, I have a shirt for you. I have one option, which is, again, I'm sure if I say which is my favorite shirt, if you watch my videos, you already know because I have a video all about this shirt. But I also have an alternate because this one doesn't come with long sleeves, and if you're not comfortable drafting your own sleeves, maybe you don't want to go with this one. It's the Elisa blouse from Fibre Mood. Absolutely love it. I just changed the construction a little bit because I don't love the facing that they have in the back. If you want to hear more about this blouse, I have a whole video about it, so go and watch that if you want. But basically for me, it's the perfect simple camp color shirt. It's very nicely drafted. I really, really like that pattern. Again, I have quite a collection of Elisa blouses. Okay, this pattern I have not made myself, but it's a fan favorite, and I have high trust in this pattern and this company. So it's from Friday Pattern Co. It's the Patina blouse. They have it in short sleeves and long sleeves option, and I already bought it and printed it for myself. I'm waiting for the right moment to make it for myself. And a good way to extend the life of that pattern is if you are comfortable redrafting your collar yourself. You could have different shaped collar, and that would make your different iterations look quite different. Okay, we have a t-shirt, we have a tank, we have a blouse, we have a shirt. Now I have a skirt for you. Again, I'm sure you know what I'm going to say, but it's going to be the skirt from Atelier Brunette. I truly love this pattern. I feel so beautiful every time I wear it, but it's a very limited size range. It goes from European size 34 to 46, and for reference, I am one size away from the biggest size in the size range, so it really doesn't go that high. I still decided to give it the first spot because if you fit in that size range, It's such a beautiful pattern and I truly love it. But I have an alternate because the size range is so small. And the alternate is the skirt that comes in the Saturday set from Friday Pattern Co. And what I was trying to find as a skirt is a skirt that really has a similar shape. I really like that A-line shape. I found that it's really flattering. So that's what I was looking for. And that's why I chose the skirt that is in the Saturday set, because of that shape that is very similar. Both the skirt from Atelier Brunette and the one in the Saturday set are long, but I assume that you are skilled enough to hem them. If you want a shorter version, they would both be shortened really easily. So I chose a long version so that you can kind of like have all the different length you would like in a skirt. For the dress that I include in it, again, I'm so unoriginal, I'm sure you know already. For the dress I included in this roundup, I have the Elodie wrap dress. I think this is perfect to be dressed up, to be dressed down. You make it in a nice linen, you're ready for brunch and you're ready for your cottagecore Saturday. You make it in a nice satin and you're ready to go and be a wedding guest, and you make it in a beautiful white and lace and you are ready to get married in this pattern. This pattern does it all. I already talked a lot about it, so I'm not gonna go on too much because you know how much I love it. The pattern comes from a size 0 to 32, but watch out because they have two different size ranges. So it's 0 to 20 and then 14 to 32. So you have to choose which bundle you buy. But I do like that there's quite a few overlap between the two, because 0 to 20 and then 14 to 32, there's quite an overlap. I really find it annoying when pattern company have kind of like 0 to 14 and then 14 to 16. And it's like, well, what if you are like just between the two? And yeah, the overlap that closet core patterns give is perfect. We love it. And I find that the two different sleeves options also really help making this pattern versatile, and the different length, love it. Pants number one, they're the ones I'm wearing today. Not so young anymore. They're the ones I'm wearing today. They're the Arden pants. This is amongst my very first videos on my channel, my love story with the Arden pants. I have made them here in the grey. I love them, I wear them all the time. I have made them in a corduroy, and I have made them as pajamas for me and my wife. They are a workhorse of a pattern. If you want to make them in shorts, you need to think about one thing, is that the length you want your shorts to end, you draw a line and then you mirror to make the facing so that when you fold it, it matches. Because if you just keep going, when you're gonna fold it, it's gonna be too small. So just think of this shape, doop, doop, when you cut your pattern piece to make the shorts. Actually, Helen's has a hack on her blog. So if you don't feel confident cutting the pants into short yourself, go and look at the hack and you'll be fine. This pattern comes in a 0 to 30, and yeah, I have already a whole video talking about it. So we're just gonna say, buy yourself Arden pants, they're great. I love those pants. Move on. Another free patterns from the fabric store. Yes, I do use a lot of the patterns. This one I have printed, but not made yet. And the fabric I was going to use for those pants, I might use for something else in the end. But it's still something I'm really looking forward to, and I think it's a very good basic. I have also read from people that they really like those pants. Just watch out, they tend to be quite big in the waist, even if you use the right size for you. So maybe measure the pattern pieces and check that it seems fine, or before putting the waistband on, try it very carefully. If you have not a waistband, maybe stay stitch everything to try them safely, but maybe check that everything fits before putting your waistband, because apparently it's an issue with those pants that they tend to run big. But I find the Sera pants really nice. When I look at them, they have the little pleats. They look very like those office wear pants, really serious, very polished. So I'm a big fan. I haven't made them yet, but they're definitely on my list to make one day, and they're a free option, which we love. And they come from a size 0 to 30, perfect. And for the paid alternate, it's not the Sera pants, but it's the Sera pants. Very narrow difference here, but almost the same, but not quite. And that's from Paper Cut Pattern. Another really sleek pair of pants, looking very formal. They have really cool pockets. So the Sera pants, I really rate them as well. I haven't made them, but they also look really great. The sizing is a UK 6 to 20, so it's a little bit of a narrower size range, but I thought they looked really nice. They're a little bit more of a straighter cut than the Sera pants. I still wanted to just mention them. And something I'm going to try soon, so it's the Persephone pants, which are also a cult favorite in the sewing community. I am going to sew them for myself soon because I have talked with a few of you, and it seems like everyone who's making the Persephone is long and is tall and slim, and I really struggle to find example of people wearing the Persephone being a bit shorter and curvier. So I will soon sew them so that you can see the short and curvy version of the Persephone on me. But not having tried them, but seeing that they are really a favorite in the community, I feel like I needed to mention the Persephone. They also come with shorts option, so that's something you don't need to draft yourself if you want shorts. And they come in a size 0 to 20. But my full review on them comes later. Okay, the two last points on this list are the jackets. So there is the Robe jacket from Peppermint magazine. It's a free or pay what you want pattern. And with this pattern, I have personally made a robe for a friend, kind of like dressing gown type of thing. But I was really thinking, imagine this pattern in a nice wool, or maybe those like teddy bear coat type of things. You could really make it almost in a winter option. Or imagine in a plaid. Or imagine in a plaid fabric, and then you have a beautiful autumn option that could be really nice as well. The way they show it in the, I think it looks like it's a linen version that they have on the model. I'm not sure that inspires me that much, but the potential that this pattern has to be modified into other things, that inspires me a lot. I think you could do a lot with this, which is why I put it in the capsule wardrobe, because it could be your dressing gown and it could be your winter teddy bear coat. The sizing on the pattern is Australian, but I think the sizing translates to UK 6 to 24, if I'm not mistaken. And then finally, we're reaching the end. I'm sorry, this video is a lot longer than what I anticipated. I'm trying to be efficient, but I'm clearly failing at it. Another Peppermint magazine pattern, so free or pay what you want. And it's the West End jacket. It's one that I definitely want to make probably in the autumn. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm thinking in the corduroy, that'd be so nice. This jacket seems like a super good basic. I would personally redraft the collar to have pointy ends. I feel like it would be more my style, but redrafting a collar is fairly easy, so I feel like you could do it too. I can't tell you too much about the pattern at the moment because I haven't made it myself, but it looks like a really good base for a nice simple jacket. They made it in denim. You could make it in a nice canvas. There's different options. So okay, it's really hard to tell the sizing from this because they have their own letter system, but it goes from a 31.5-inch bust to a 57-inch bust. Not sure what sizes that means, and it has been drafted for B cup. My palette alternate for this pattern is another fan favorite, and it's the Ilford jacket from Friday Pattern Co. I think the Ilford really has it all. It's also one that can be made in a ton of different fabrics and it's going to look very different depending on what fabric you use to make it. And they have a long and shorter option, so I think it looks really cool. Honestly, there's so many Ilford on Instagram. I was really want to make one, but I think I could make it work using the West End pattern and maybe hacking it a little bit, but the Ilford is really cool. I feel like people who wear the Ilford, it's like that little extra something. You can tell they're cool people. I can't tell you too much about this pattern because I haven't made it myself. And the sizing, it goes from an XS to a 7XL. Okay. We made it. Oh my god, I'm sorry this video is so long. I was really like, oh yeah, quick snappy one. I'm sorry, I can't make snappy, but that's it. That's everything. I really hope that you maybe discovered some new pattern, or that you found this roundup interesting. That maybe you found some free patterns that are interesting to you. If you're planning to make any of them, please let me know. I'm really curious to know what's on your sewing list. I'm off to finish sewing my dresses for the various weddings I have coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to give it a like. Subscribe if you want to come back and see more of me. It's gonna be once a week for the foreseeable future. And don't forget that you can make anything, including your super cool capsule wardrobe. See you next time. Bye!